Russell, thank you so much. Luke on the Hill for us this morning. Thank you, sir. I want to bring in Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson, a member of both the Foreign Relations and Homeland Security Committees. Senator, always good to see you. Thanks for being with me this morning.
Morning, Craig.
Secretary Kerry is going to be testifying before your committee this afternoon about that new authorization bill for the use of military force that Luke was just talking about there. In your opinion, what needs to be in that bill?
Well, first of all, let's take a step back and talk about how this debate ought to be proceeding. You know, we did have one hearing back in May about an authorization for the use of military force in May. And then there's a group of us that did meet in the White House, I think in July, talking about the authorization for use of military force because the White House was finding its authorization, let's put it diplomatically, tenuous at best. But you notice we didn't have a full debate. We didn't get the information. And I think there's just a whole lot more questions. So what we're going to do now is have, I guess, one hearing, a little debate in our Foreign Relations Committee. It's going to be a show vote. I mean, it has no chance of being passed through Congress. It's a show vote. It's going to be based on inadequate debate and inadequate information. And what we're talking about here is we're talking about lives of the finest among us. I think this needs a far more robust and responsible debate out of Congress than what it's going to be given right now.
That could probably be said for a great deal of the debates that don't happen down there, I would imagine, though. So it sounds like, Senator, you think this afternoon is going to be also a conversation or debate about the strategy against ISIS moving forward as well. Is that a correct assessment?
It is, but again, I think the administration was asked to provide about 6 witnesses. Now, I appreciate Secretary Kerry coming up here, but we've been requesting, and I'll defend Chairman Menendez. He's been asking for administration witnesses to come forward to inform Congress, but they've been not exactly forthcoming. So, you know, my problem with dealing with the White House is if you're looking at an authorization for the use of military force, I think the way the process ought to proceed, and really how we left our July meeting, was the ball's in the White House's court. You'll come to Congress with what authorization you believe you need, and we should be debating that. Now, you know, in the past, when we actually declared war, the authorization Congress granted in World War I and World War II and a number of declarations of war was basically to bring the conflict to a successful termination. Pretty broad power because the president is the commander-in-chief under Article 2. You know, what's going to happen now today, I fear, is we're going to be providing comfort to our enemies as we restrict that authorization either through time or what the president can actually do. I think it's very foolish, very unwise to be signaling to our enemy what we will and will not do to accomplish a goal that President Obama stated, which I agree with, degrade and ultimately defeat ISIS. But Craig, there's another question. Who is our enemy? What does that mean? Is it strictly ISIS? Right. Is it Islamic terror? Is it al-Qaeda? Is it in Yemen? Is it in Pakistan? Is it in Afghanistan? Is it simply in Syria and Iraq? Is it in Somalia? Is it Boko Haram? I mean, this is a very complex situation. I don't envy President Obama his task. But the fact of the matter is we have a lot of questions that are not being answered. We're not getting the information I believe we need from the administration, and this is a start of that process.
Senator Johnson, so we've got Secretary Kerry who's going to testify this afternoon at 2 o'clock. A few hours earlier, that CIA report is expected to be released, or at least the executive summary. You called for an end to this investigation back in 2011, I believe. Why was that? Do you not think that the release of this report is valuable?
Well, I think it's somewhat unwise, again, to air all your dirty laundry out for your enemies to witness it, to see it. Why would we provide that kind of comfort to our enemies? Now, there are good people in government, in Congress, continuously monitoring these programs, providing the type of oversight. Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberals.
Do you not think that there is value in the American public knowing precisely what happened, or as much as we... Go ahead.
I think the question is, you just use the word precisely. I think the American public, through leaks, already have a pretty good sense of what happened. And let's face it, again, I said I don't envy President Obama or President Bush the task of keeping this nation safe. But this is a very dangerous world, populated with very evil and dangerous people that want to kill Americans. We witness that. So we need to give our government the authority. This is the one area of government that we have to have a little faith, a little trust. We need to restore that. I don't think airing all the precise detail of what it is presidents have had to do to keep us safe is a particularly smart thing to do strategically.
Senator, some would say that the faith and trust was eroded when some of those leaks started, and we got a glimpse into precisely what was happening in the wake of 9/11.
Well, again, some top secret information was leaked. This is a dangerous world. Sometimes we have to do unpleasant things, and I'm not saying that I don't believe the U.S. government should bear all its dirty laundry to the entire world. I think that harms our effort at keeping America safe, which should be our primary goal, keeping America safe and secure.
Senator Ron Johnson. Senator, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Have a great day.
We'll get perspective from the Democratic side when I speak to Senator Bob Casey in just a few minutes. After the break, gas